Okay.
Okay, let's start. This time for you.
Okay, come in, please.
Good evening.
Mhm. Um, please sit down. What's your full name?
I'm Trần Đình Minh Quân.
Can I see your identification, please?
Yes.
Okay, Kwon, good. All right. We are going to start our speaking test today with some questions about you. Where is your hometown?
I'm currently living in Nam City, a very vibrant district, and I think people here are very lovely, and it is a very nice place to live in.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would like to change about your town?
Currently, I am fully satisfied with my current town, so I would have nothing to complain about it.
Mm. Do you think that you will live in your town for a long time?
I'm not sure about this. Perhaps, but I am also gonna study further, so I gotta move to the capital city of Vietnam, also known as Hanoi. And I'm not sure about my future intentions of living in Nam Định longer, or not even living in it anymore.
Mhm. Okay, let's talk about history. Do you like history as a subject in your school?
I am totally not interested in history. I do not have a good head for memorizing details, so I really hate to remember the years and the dates of the events. However, I still believe that history is pivotal to the society because it teaches us with the mistakes from the past.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time that you read a book about history?
Uh, it might be a little bit rude, but I have never touched a book of history throughout my whole life. I would prefer to read books about sci fi, pseudoscience, or even science in general.
Do you like watching documentaries or movies related to history?
Mm, I think this could be a cliche, but I do not even enjoy those. Maybe I'm a bit a type of person that seems to be more progressive rather than retrogressive. So I would choose to watch other types of entertainment, not about history.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about art. Do you like drawing?
I am also not someone that has good artistic abilities. So I think I can draw, but very badly, and I do not enjoy drawing in general.
Did you learn drawing when you were a child?
I have never learned to draw, and my parents, they had also never unearthed any artistic skills from me, so they also never let me study art.
Do you think that it is important for children to learn art at school?
Um, Despite what I have said, I still believe that art can be optional at school and it can play some, I would say, optimal roles in order to, fully develop your emotions and um, your sensitivity to other people.
Mm, what kind of pictures do you like to put up in your home?
I wouldn't put up pictures of celebrities at home. I am very interested in soccer.
Internet connection is not good. Okay, are you back? I can hear you now, Gwen. You can continue.
Okay.
So again, what kind of pictures do you like to put up in your home?
I would love to put up pictures of celebrities. I am very intrigued into soccer, so I would choose Messi. Also, I would love to indulge myself in basketball matches, so LeBron James is also one type, and portraits in general.
Hmm. Let's move on. Talking about, let's move on with speaking part 2. Okay, and how can I share it with you now? I have to share the screen? Okay, I'm gonna share the screen with you. Share. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Can you see the question now?
Yes.
All right. Describe a historical building you have been to. You have 1 minute to prepare for the talk, and your 1 minute starts right now. Okay. Okay. And you can start now.
So, I have been to various historical buildings, but one that has struck me the most should be the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum in Hanoi. Well, let me first tell you about its look. So, it is characterized by the vastness of the setting. Moreover, I can feel the aesthetic and I can, feel the intense aroma, the very, I would say, very intriguing, and it can keep me back for like hours. Also about the functionality of this building. This building was used to hold and keep the corpse of Ho Chi Minh, one of the most successful and influential people of Vietnam. So nowadays, it is also considered one of the most interesting tourist attractions, and people all around the world, especially foreigners, they would also love to see this historical building because of the inside meanings. Through there, I have learned that I should appreciate the previous communists, and I should also appreciate about the values and conventional values of Vietnam throughout different attractions. And finally, about my feelings, I think I would definitely come there once more because I feel like it is such a place that you can find your peace of mind, and also you can decompress after long hours of working and study. And it is a way to bond with influential figures of Vietnam, and that's all about it.
Mm-hmm. How many times have you visited that historical building?
Can you pardon me?
How many times have you been there?
I have been there for only once in my life when I was about 5. At that time, I was too small and immature that I did not appreciate that trip. But now that I have grown up and I have learned a lot more about Ho Chi Minh, a very legendary communist, and I looked back with nostalgia, I appreciate it more.
Okay, let's move on and discuss further about the topic of history and historical buildings. Do you think that everyone should know history?
Yes, I think history plays a crucial role in everyone's life. Like you gotta know a little bit if you're not interested about history, and through history and pieces of history, you can learn about the previous mistakes that our predecessors have made, and you can avoid that in the future. and that can help you, achieve and develop at the fullest.
Can you be more specific about develop part? What can you develop when you learn about history?
Well, I think that when we learn history, we have got to delve into the mistakes of the previous heroes and figures. And when we learn about their mistakes and we try to avoid that in the future, then we would not have any heavy. For with no obstacles, it means that we can, make way for more development as well as innovations. That's my intention.
Mm-hmm. And how is history taught in just general?
Well, usually in my country, they teach history as a mandatory subject, and they have bullet points noting the dates, special dates, as well as the most crucial events, and they also classify them into different categories from Vietnamese history to history of the world in general and Western cultures. So I think this method is not actually effective. I have some counterintuitive methods, but I still respect the Department of Education in my country.
What methods do you think are effective for teaching and learning history in the country?
Well, firstly, I would recommend innovating the traditional teaching methods. So, in this approach, you can combine electronic devices.
Combine. Internet connection again. Okay, you are back, right?
Okay.
Now let's continue with our questions about the effective methods of teaching and learning history in the country.
So first and foremost, I would recommend combining electronic devices and textbooks and notebooks so that we have a wider spectrum of noting down details and memorizing knowledge. Moreover, I want to modernize some figures, like we can make cartoons about those heroes, and we can also create some types of funny videos, including entertaining meanings as well as the meanings of education. So after that, students will have a better grasp of history and they can also gauge their own interests.
Okay. Now let's talk more about historical buildings. Why do you think people visit historical buildings?
First and foremost, I think they visit those buildings because they want to collect the bands and to know more about the previous accomplishments of the previous figures of the country, and in wonder and simply to relax and to chill in the aesthetics of the settings.
Mm-hmm. How about children? Normally they don't go there just because they want to learn about history, right?
I think children they are usually forced to go there and feel so. Yeah, I think children are usually taken there by adults rather than going there for any specific intention or purpose.
How can we make museums more interesting, more attractive to children?
Well, I have never thought about that before, but if I had to make a guess, then I probably think that we should, as I have said, uh, combine electronic devices with the artifacts. And from that on, we can have slideshows, or we can also have people who make funny videos for different age groups. So that is one way to, gauge the interest of them.
Okay, and Do you think that old buildings should be demolished?
I think personally I am not against, or I don't quite agree with it. I would say I partly disagree. So, firstly, I think that they can be demolished to make room for industrial development, because nowadays the space is one of the most heating topics, and we are running out of land for agriculture, for skyscrapers. But I also think that we should not demolish them, because they have meanings, and they are the tangible connection between people from the past and present people.
Mhm. But many historical buildings are running down. So who should be responsible for the renovations of these buildings?
I think that responsibility should be, I would say, every one of us should shoulder the responsibility of this. You know that tourists, when they come to such buildings, they usually litter and they throw plastic bags around, and that can ruin the beauty of the site. And that is one way to make it run down. And also, I think government, they should pay more attention to the running down buildings, and they should raise funds and make proper investments into such buildings. So everyone should be responsible for that.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. I think that is the end of our test today. I deliberately chose very difficult topics for you right from the beginning of the test to really press you, to push you a bit through the test. And you did quite well. However, there are some things I think you should keep in mind. I noticed some pronunciation. I guess they are just mispronounced. Sometimes you mispronounced the words, not really a mistake, but these mistakes, these lips really affect your score when it comes to pronunciation. Number one, you say functionality. I think it should have been functionality. I'm not quite sure. I need to check it first, but you can check it in the dictionary. You say functionality. This is not the right stretch for the word, and also not like the proper pronunciation for the word. The second one, you say, let me see, let me try to recall. Where is it? Where is that? Number two, you say previous. Let me check that one. I'm not quite sure about that because I often say previous, but you say previous really clearly. So let me check that one first. Cambridge. So I'm gonna share the screen with you so that you can take a look with me too. Here we go. You did really well. You are 7.5 above. Share the sound. No, share everything. Share everything with you. Maybe I share the screen with you. Okay. You can see the screen right now. So first of all, Cambridge Dictionary. First of all, the word functionality. It mentions this one. Here you see the stress is on the nality, functionality, and you pronounce the T sound very clearly in the word. When you say celebrity, I could hear it very clearly. So celebrity. Normally, I don't think it's that strong. It should be celebrity, celebrity. And you can see the T here. The little T here. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. I think you can stop. You can stop recording because it's not in the assessment, right?